So initially, because we have a class which happens from 6 to 8, okay. So initially people join eventually, okay. So as of now, I see there are 4 people there.
Yeah.
We've already joined in.
So how do I get to see how many people are in?
So on the top here, you see a number next to the
Where?
live over
Yeah,
my
live.
video.
Yeah,
Over
I do
my
see that.
video. Yeah. So there you see a number. There the number will come up. Okay.
Oh,
All right. So hello everyone. Okay, I see that some people are there online. So a quick confirmation from people who have joined in that you guys can hear us. Okay, because we have the guest of today's session also who has joined. Okay. So a quick confirmation. All right. So I see Tanmay. Hello Tanmay. Tanmay and other people who have joined. Okay, you guys can hear us. Shivaji Das. Everyone. Okay, great. Okay, so that's a confirmation. So, as I said, we're just winding up a session. Okay, so students might be eventually joining in. So let us first welcome the guest speaker for today. So, welcome Ashwin, okay, from MBAP side and from all students, fraternity. That welcome for the live session today. And to brief you, as we were discussing before, that every Sunday we have this interactive session with the students, okay, where we discuss about the struggle period, which a lot of, in fact, everyone goes through this struggle period of preparing for these exams, okay, and then we have the success story that happens, and people have achieved a lot. So we saw your profile, okay, currently being the assistant general manager at Vodafone India. So we thought that you're the right person to guide students, because this is the phase where students face a little bit of the main heat of the preparation, which is in the last, you can say, 1 to 2 months of time. A lot of thoughts goes through their mind saying that mock scores are dropping down and many other things. So that's the reason we called you. Okay, so firstly, thanks a lot, Ashwin, for coming to our session here today.
my pleasure, my
And
pleasure.
yes, so I would just want you only to give a brief intro about your overall detailed profile, and then we can go with that part first, okay, which talks about your, how MBA as a decision came in your career, and then how that journey started off.
Right. So thanks for it's a pleasure to be on the call. So I hope I can't see this. So this is new for me. So I don't know how many participants are there, whatever it is. But
So right
and
now,
I don't.
people are already there.
Superb. So I think if they put something on the chat, I'll get to see right here.
Yes, 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 yes.
Can someone send me a random hi? Let me just check that.
Yeah, so anyone just put a quick hi so that, because Ashwin sir is not much comfortable with, he's new to this part basically. So a quick confirmation for him also. Someone can put a quick hi. Okay, so we have Shibaji, Tanmay, Akash. Okay, good. So you have good amount of people saying
Yeah,
that.
super. Right. So hi guys, it's great to be here. We will keep it very crisp, very. I'll try as much as informative it can be and more relevant for you guys. So what we'll do is we'll break this session into 3 parts, and you can let me know if that works for you also. So what I'll do is first a small set of introduction from my end. So what has been my journey, and then a small quick bit about some to-dos and must not do's for the MBA journey. And the third part, basis these 2 parts, I want you to just jot down the questions that you have in mind and shoot that back at me. Because one thing I can tell you is advantage that I could get onto the table is multiple industries. I've worked in multiple industries. It could be uh, FMCG, automobile, telecom, retail. So I'll get some insights. So if you even have a doubt, it's a great place to have a discussion on. Okay, I see a lot of highs. So I think we got the message. Thank you so much, guys. So
Ashwin, one thing, Ashwin, that I
yeah,
want to highlight it to the students, okay, before we go ahead. Okay, so I was going through the profile of Ashwin sir, okay, as he just rightly mentioned. So that is actually a case, okay. So considering the previous speakers who have come, I think the one of the unique unique part of the profile that we can say about Ashwin sir is that he has worked in various industries. Okay, you can talk about our automobile sector, okay, telecom sector. Okay, so so I saw Mahindra in your profile. I saw Jet Airways in your profile. Okay, I saw Vodafone India on your profile. So that's a elaborate, a good exposure. So students, from your perspective, I'm saying that definitely, you guys are preparing for MBA, and 4 years down the line, okay, if you see that someone has achieved all of this in his career, so you have a lot of things that you can learn, okay, in this session. So I want every one of you to be really active, okay, listen to what sir is telling, make notes of it, and in case you have any questions, okay, please do put that in the comment section so that sir can address that for you. Okay, go ahead, Ashwin.
Great.
Over to you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So I will tell you where it started. So I'm a BBA graduate, which is management again. By the second year, I decided that I should pursue marketing because that's where my area of interest was. This is a very important point about specialization. A lot of you doing MBA are little concerned what kind of specialization you want to take. So I'll come to that also as to what is one of the better ways to approach that. Apart from that, so I started off with marketing, and my first initial phase was I got campus placement, and I was working with Nielsen. So Nielsen, for people who don't know, is the world's biggest market research company. So I started in FMCG market research, wherein I was handling Johnson & Johnson, PepsiCo, and Neutrogena and Conagra. So these companies spend a huge amount for the market research and development. So I was a market research analyst there. So I started my journey in the research segment. So that gave me a great advantage to understand what is marketing's layer one like. Marketing, everything starts with research and then it moves up. So but something that tricked me was that I'm not someone who can always sit in front of the laptop and only crunch numbers. I'm someone who likes to go out, meet people.
So this you're saying is after your BBA thing, right?
Yes, just after my BBA.
After your BBA, okay, perfect.
Right. So the reason I'm telling you this is the reason to do MBA needs to come from some concrete experience that you have. I mean, it's not necessary that you have to work. Even if you have a family business and you understand, nothing like it. There's no hard and fast rule that you have to work. But then, in my experience, 1.5 years to 2 years tells you a lot about what kind of personality you are and what you like and what you don't like. Typically, what I've seen. And so that's your area one to look at. So that's what happened with me. I understood research is good, but there are more things other than research that interest me. Research gave me a great headway to understand how to look at data. And in the field of business, you're good with data, you survive, period. I don't have to add anything to it. So that's when I did my, so once I decided that this is where I need to move on, this is where the thought of MBA came in that yes, I need to move ahead and buckle up this. Now, in this journey, when I started preparing and then, let's say, the initial, what Haider said, the initial, this is always to crack the top 3 to 5 institutes. There is no doubt about it. It's very, it's but obvious. But there are two things about this. I'm going to be very, very candid in the chat. I'm not going to give you too much, the best case scenario, because all of that you generally hear from every advertisement possible. So what I'm going to tell you is that after a point in time, you'll understand, this is where I am going to belong. I may not be a 99.99 percentile every single time, because if everyone is 99.9 percentile, then it is not 99.9 percentile. The whole point of 99.9 percentile is that only 0.1 up better than you, right? So it is okay. So I would say you have to say, all you have to ask is that, is this the best area that you've landed in? That's the only thing you can do. But once you do that, then you have to open your wings and see what are the best institutes around you for that. Now, one very important element in this is do not restrict yourself about institute with respect to geography. That is one of the most foolish thing that someone can do. That I am from Bombay, I will only go in Bombay colleges. I am from Delhi, I will only take Delhi institutes. Because the comfort to move out of that geography is very high. And we millennials are really spoiled. And I will tell you one thing about MBA. The biggest learning is during if your campus is residential. There is no other course that you will learn maximum if you aren't residential. So any institute that is giving you a residential, even if it's in God-forsaken tier 4 area, but let's say like IIM Sambalpur, right? Now, if you get an IIM Sambalpur, I would say, and if you don't have anything on the other side, I would say close your eyes and take it, because there are two things. One, the IIM brand sticks to you. 10 years down the line, when your career has moved ahead, IIM Sambalpur will go up because there will be new IIMs that will come. That's point two. And point three is that you will be in a residential zone, and everyone with a similar approach are there together day in, day out, night, everywhere. So I would recommend you to look at it from a different lens. I'm not saying only do that, but look at it from a different lens, that I need to go to the college in the morning and come back evening to meet my parents or my girlfriend or my boyfriend does not really help with respect to MBA. That's the first level of submission. Now, with respect to your preparation, like I said, first you need to look at yourself. This is the best I will reach at, and these are the colleges I need to definitely target. Once you do that, your preparation zone, apart from your Haider and all are experts to tell you how to crack that. But apart from that, your interviews and your things needs to sit line and come back saying that why do I want to do this? You need to come back and always and check what are your skill set that you have developed. So if you are 21, 22, I'm sure that there is not much that you've done. You have had a pretty normal life. But what are the things that interest you and what are the things that you have done about it? So I would say take a note on that. Once you are done with this thing, about putting yourself in a room and understanding where these are the things I'm good at, then is what your interview and your GD happens. Now, this is where everyone tells you that communication is most important. I can tell you something very, very candidly. In present scenario, business scenario, it is okay to be technically average and great to be communication. I mean, great to have a great communication.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, the technical thing is very black and white, right? I mean, everyone can learn it in a period of time. And even if you're not good at it, you can change your, I don't like this, I can learn something else. But communication remains the constant, right? And you won't believe the number of deals, the business deals that are cracked only because of relationships is humongous. It's humongous. And I'm talking about right from Mukesh Ambani, who's probably governing the country with lakhs and lakhs of crores of investments, to someone as small as your Kirana Wala. So I'm saying communication plays a very important role, and it is not important that you should communicate in a certain way. That's not the case. So I may have a great English-speaking accent does not make me a good communicator. That's a myth. But the whole point is, how did I communicate and how did I build that rapport with the person who is on the other side of the table is the most important thing. So if I were you and I'm preparing, my CAT and my getting to MBA college remains my number one priority. But the number two priority, which is just probably marginally little less, is to scale up my communication skills as much as possible. Because that is what is going to help you get the limelight during MBA, right? So these are my two simple recommendations, right? Now, if I say that, let's assume we have reached, so coming back to my topic, so I finished my MBA. Once it was, during the final placements, I did internship with Puma Sports. So that's a very young and amazing brand to be with. One thing I've always done in my career is basically I've never let any vacation go waste. So I think I've done about 7 internships just till my MBA. So typically people do 2 to 3 internships. So right after my graduation, I did an internship. During my MBA, I did an internship. I did a live project. So it is categorically very important for someone to take up that, because you don't have other avenues to learn about business. So it is as important as learning a textbook, or I would say more important than learning a textbook, to go back to and see if you can do any kind of live project or internship. Either I think I've lost you, or your voice this is stuck. Hello, Haider, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, Ashwin, you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So I'm just coming back to the point that it's very important for you to look at internships in a very microscopic lens, because if you guys don't have experience, this is where your money spinner is. So I would say just, what I did was, during my graduation, I did an internship with Godrej Interior, which is in Modular Kitchen was my product. From there, before my MBA, I had 3 months to join the course. So I did a stint with Mahindra Tractors, and Mahindra Tractors I was handling, looking after rural communication and branding solutions. So I used to go to places in Rajasthan where after 4 p.m. there is no services. There is no you can't commute. So I used to come back on tractors or bullock carts to my lodge. There's a hotel also. It's lodge basically. So it is a great experience, but I don't think I would have had that kind of experience anytime. I have met goons who carry guns, and I've tried to have a branding solutions with them. So that's a great experience. But that is when you are, and the best part about being an intern and management trainee is that आपको साथ खून माफ है, आपको कोई टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई आपको कुछ बोलेगा ही नहीं, बिकॉज ना आप तो एक इंटर्न हो तो पैसे तो वैसे ही कम मिलने हैं, ऊपर से कंपनी ने आपको कोई बाइंड रखा तो है नहीं. So the whole point is for you to test the waters in the best way. So this is what I did. I did Godrej Interior. I moved to Mahindra Tractors. During my internships, I did a great deal of what do you say, in these live projects that you have. So that is where I started doing Arvind lifestyle.
Ashwin, are you able to hear me? Others, you guys can hear me? I mean, I think there is some lag from Ashwin sir's side. Okay, I think he's joining back. Yes, so Akash, okay, yes, I think his screen has got stuck. Probably he might be joining back. Okay, he's just messaging me. Let me just check with him. You have left the stream, join back. Okay, so he's joining back. Okay, but on I'll just put some light on what he was talking about. So what he said is one very good thing that he mentioned. Okay, I think Ashwin sir is joining back. Just a minute. Ashwin, are you able to hear me? Yes, I can.
I'm able to hear. Can you hear me?
Yes,
so my
it is.
PC is saying we need to restart, so I'm so sorry. So, right.
Okay,
it's better now.
Others, quick confirmation from others also. Students who are there, you guys can hear Ashwin sir, you can see him? Because we got some messages saying that they can't hear you and all that. Okay, all good. Ashwin, you can go ahead.
Right. So I'm gonna use my phone right now and then try to come back with laptop. So yeah, my initial point was to look at, from a very critical element, is to take up as many internships, as many live projects as you can, and something which I did was this. Basically, from Arvind is where I did organizational restructuring exercise, and post my MBA, I did an internship with Jet Airways. So the whole point was and during my internship, once I finished my internship with Jet Airways, I had an offer from them. So the good part, or something that I can boast about in the due course, is that by the end of MBA, at the time of my final placements, I had 4 offers in my hand. So one was from Jet Airways, one was from Tata Motors, which was obviously my campus placement, one was from Puma, and one was for Arvind. So I would not have got these offers unless until I would have applied and tried to do this internship. So my recommendation to every one of you is to grab as many opportunities as possible in college, outside college. Catch hold of as many. Use abuse LinkedIn as much as you can, because the two things, like I said, management trainee, interns, and students, they get away with everything. So you can try and hit as many doors or knock as many doors as you want. So yeah, so that was my journey with respect to my MBA. During MBA, there are two or three things I would really like everyone to take up. Is so I was the placement coordinator of my college. So I volunteered to take up positions and those responsibilities which is in college, which you won't typically do when you were in undergrads. So I would say someone who's in undergrad, they used to do a lot of college fest, cultural events, and all those things. It would be little smarter to fine tune it and move from cultural to much more business oriented things. It's not that culture is bad or cultural events or dance and this is bad. It is definitely good. But during MBA, if the cultural events are giving you that kind of exposure to manage funds, handle the entire college by yourself, great. That's a management skill. But no, it's just going to be a cultural fest. I would say generally look at things that you can do much more than cultural during the course of your MBA. Two or three things that I would like to tell you about every MBA college is that there is nothing different that is being taught at Harvard or the lowest ranked college. It's all the same, right? Because if I say a 4 P's of marketing remains the same, and then when you move it to service, it's 7 P's of marketing. So these concepts are pretty much same. It's management science. There is nothing over the top that changes. The filter, a certain level of filter that changes is probably the faculty who teaches you and how they teach you. That changes a certain pedigree. You try to get more interested, or you are more affluent with certain subjects because those faculty have done that for you. And the third, and probably the most important thing about an MBA college, why people say that you have to go to a good institute, is you are competing with the best. So every MBA school is about your peers, nothing more. It's always your peer competition. That is what refines you. So if the person who's your best friend is also gunning for the same thing, he's not sleeping more than 2 hours a day, he's doing 10 courses, he's acing everything, you are supposed to do that. Otherwise, you are not in the top 10% in the campus. And we all know you are supposed to be in the top 10 or 15% of the campus to get the best of whatever you're planning to do. So that's what my first thing about MBA colleges, what I have understood during course, and I have a lot of friends from all the institutes across. It's about the peer pressure that you can create. So that is what I've seen. I will just move on to my next stint, which was Tata Motors, which is probably the longest stint of my career. I spent over 4 years there, and it was I think it was one of the best experiences of my life. I used to travel 18 to 20 days a month across India, lavishly, and it is like I never used to. It's going to be like 8-9 cities a month, 2 days a day, 2 days a month, 2 days in a month, one city, change, move out, meet new people. I would go to the remotest corner of the country. So I used to handle commercial vehicles in Tata Motors. Commercial vehicle is your trucks and buses and all those things. So you go and deal with people who are literally really big businessmen, or they can be goons who are stationed at some remote corners of UP or Bihar. So it's an interesting experience to see these different aspects of people and how they conduct business. Haider, I think did I lose you?
Yeah.
Haider, yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's a great experience. And the best part about Tata Motors was it gave me a free hand. One of the best thing was it gave me a free hand to really take up my ideas, my experiences, what I've had, or my thought process, to put it into plan and put it into perspective. So that is where the growth really happened. Me as an individual who grew was.
Yeah, sorry to cut you there. Okay. Yeah. So I was saying that one question is that I think students can also learn a lot, okay, because till this point of time of our conversation, we get to know about your stint with the Jet Airways, okay, you had with Puma, okay, all of that. So if you have to just connect one skill of yours, okay, that would have helped you excel in each of these internship opportunities or the full-time opportunities that you got, what was that one skill of yours that you think that helped you a lot, okay, push up the ladder?
So if I were to, if you want something in common, one thing I would say is, your confidence and your communication. These are the only two things that is expected out of you when you're starting off. Because,
Okay.
when after 10 years of experience, I would be judged on multiple things. Once I
Yeah.
complete 10 years, I will be judged on multiple things. But when I'm
Yeah.
starting off, I don't have anything in my kitty to come and present it to you. So what they are saying
Yeah.
is, so if I have to add one more thing, confidence, communication, and intent to learn, right? Because
Yeah.
no one can judge how fast can you grasp, but do you have the intention to grasp is very important. So if you show that
Yeah.
eagerness that I want to do this, I have thought through this. So giving you an example, if I were to talk about Jet Airways, to tell them that I think this is the area which I would like to work, is going above and beyond and telling or waiting for them to tell you what to do. So
Yeah.
that impresses someone that, hey, this guy has thought what he wants. So it is little
Mm.
important to spend some more time to just check what works better for you and what is that skill set or interest. It need not always be skill set, but it could be the interest that really churns out things for you. So
Yeah,
I
because
hope
in
that
a
kind of
way
answered that question.
that would also connect with students who are right now preparing, where you need to keep on pushing yourself, okay, so that you keep on doing something new, okay, try out different strategies also for their
Correct.
mocks, okay, and other things that is going to help them come up with good
Correct.
results. Yeah, great,
Right,
okay,
right,
Ashwin.
totally, totally. So I would say, yeah. So during MBA, we would always say that you are nothing but one side piece of paper. That's it. You are just one piece of paper because your CV becomes everything. No one cares
Yes.
where you come from, what good personality you have, what great things, how good do you look. Nothing. It's just one pager, that one page
Yeah,
CV, which
exactly.
is
That's a
also
good
that is
way
also not
to.
front and back. It's just one side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we say, you're just a piece of paper at the end of the day. So the best thing to do is make sure that piece of paper becomes something that no one wants to keep it aside. They want to read it through. So that is the entire
Yeah.
juggle, right? You do so many things, or you do things which are so different that makes you stand. So let me give you an example. This is the trend of digital marketing, and everyone is doing digital marketing. Even myself. But right now you need to understand that eventually everyone is going to do digital marketing. So what is that you can do over and above that is what will get you that role or that job or that company that you wish for, because it's going to be same, right? If everyone is doing the same thing, what sets you apart is what you need to think right now, right?
Perfect.
So I think, yeah, that's what so like I was telling you about my journey with Tata Motors. It was amazing. I had 3 stints. My first stint was in Chennai, which was sales, which was channel management sales, and from there I moved to Bombay, which was strategy, and I was in a strategy project for key account management. And from there, I moved to marketing. So once I covered this, I understood, okay, I'm loving this, but then I want to experiment a little more with my career. So the reason to join a Vodafone was basically, the way I look at it is that, there are, apart from food, clothing, and shelter, there are 2 other things what I feel as human beings is very, very necessary. One is communication, the other is transportation. Right? We need to move from one place to another, and we need to communicate. So, because I've worked in the transportation side of the thing, which is this, I thought let me move to the communication front of the stuff things, and it's a huge and Vodafone is probably world number 1 or number 2 brand with respect to communicate. I mean telecom. So it's a great opportunity that came in my way, and when you make the right moves at the right time, it works, and sometimes it does not. It is. I'm not saying it is a hard-coded guarantee. There are many a times that I've just got lucky. It's not that I've done something A, B, C, D, and everything has worked. But the whole point is that there was a A and there was a B and there was a C, and it just spin off in some other direction and it works better. So that was my
So
journey.
moving from
And if just to
transportation automobile sector, okay, from moving from that sector to a telecom sector, and that to having a 3 to 4 years of experience, okay, as you said, again, Tata Motors, how difficult or how easy was it for you to have that switch in the industry? Because this is also a very good point, okay, that probably a MBA helps you do that, okay, because a lot of time, people without an MBA, they struggle to have this kind of a switch. So how did that happen to you, like, exactly?
That's right. So it's a good question there. So one important thing here is that when you move from one profile to another, if suppose I was an engineer in Tata Motors plant manufacturing
Yeah.
machines, a Vodafone would not have taken me because I don't have the skill set. It's not the matching skill set. But here what happened is I was handling large I was handling key accounts of Tata Motors and looking at the marketing side of it. So because I had an
Yeah.
experience of handling key customers or key revenue spinners of Tata Motors commercial vehicle, what Vodafone looked at was that this guy has an ability to deal with bigger businesses, has an ability to make those sale kind of conversations, has the ability to look at business prospect. It's not technical, it is business. So the only gap I have is not understanding of how telecom works. So, but
Yes.
it will not take for me 4 to 5 months to understand how the telecom works. So any industry you want to get into the business side, the technical side you can understand in 4 to 6 months. It's not that difficult because you're in the front facing. I don't have
Perfect.
to go to the network and मैं मेरे को network ठीक नहीं करना होता है ना मुझे
Yeah.
जाके SIM card बनाना होता है. So that is not my profile. So if that was the thing, yes, then they would not have considered. So it's about,
Yes.
so from here on, let's assume I have now entered a technology space. Now, tomorrow,
Yes.
if there is a company like, let's say, Microsoft or Google, where they handle cloud. Now, I am working with Google on multiple, many products of Google that I, as Vodafone, have tie up, and I try to sell
Yes.
them to the final consumer. So now I have an
Yes.
understanding of how Google product works. So tomorrow, if I want to move to a Google, that is my common point, that I know what are your products, I know whom to sell to. I don't want to come and sit in as your engineer. I want to be your business manager to ensure that whatever you need to do, I can give you a hint. If at all I have to move, what is the thing I need to do from Vodafone to something else? If it's a change, if it is not a change, if I want to move up the ladder of Vodafone, then I need to be very much aware of what are the kind of businesses that Vodafone does in a particular geography that will give me depth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's one. So I think that's the entire. I'm just explaining the landscape as to these are my touch points, my milestone. I just don't want to go on and on about it. I think we
In
can
a way,
go.
you have
Yeah.
also shown this somewhere a picture to the students that what is the next that you are looking at. Probably no, the way your
No,
career
no.
has been
I'm.
shaped. So probably next is where you're
Yeah.
looking at something in technology. Okay, and we all hope that Google happens. Okay, that would be the best thing to do.
Yeah. Let's. I mean, I'm just saying. That's how people look at things. That's it. So anyway, so I think this is what my career graph has been, and this is what I've been doing. Now I think a couple of things we can open up for questions, and through the questions, maybe I can take up pointers about MBA, pre-MBA, post-MBA, whatever we want to do.
Perfect, perfect. So, the students, okay, we are open for questions now. Okay, Abhishek said that he's not able to hear us. Okay, but I think others can. There might be some glitch in between. So, the floor is open for questions. Okay, you guys can put up your questions. Okay, meanwhile, to start with, okay, Ashwin, I'll have one question till the time. Okay, students have come up with their own questions.
Yeah,
Okay, so one
yeah,
question that I have.
yeah,
Which I think a lot of students might also be thinking of. Again, I'm just taking it from the students' mindset that many a
yeah,
times, okay, many a times people who have not done MBA, and especially if they come from engineering background. Okay, because you came up from a non-engineering background. Okay, a lot of time people come from engineering backgrounds. Okay, and the reason I'm connecting that, because you worked in majorly technology related firms. Okay, you have not like much of like banks and those insurance companies. Okay, which is not there. Okay, if you see Tata Motors, again a technically domain company. Okay, even Vodaphone for that matter. Yes. So where okay, what is your insight on this? Okay, where someone okay who comes from a engineering background. Okay, and is looking for exactly the opposite shift. Okay, like you coming from a non-engineering background, probably working in technical based companies. Okay, someone coming from a someone coming from an engineering background. Okay, and getting into a non-engineering base, which is like, because you've seen a lot of people working in banks and insurance companies and all of that. So I would want this. Okay, I want you to answer this. Okay, connecting the MBA point. Okay, that how the MBA development, or rather the overall transformation that B school. Okay, for your case it was Wellinger. Okay, and how that entire transformation took. Okay, when you were there in those 2 years, and that's how you can go ahead. Yes.
Right. So if I have to paraphrase the question, it's like a person who is an engineer, if he has to go to a non-technical kind of area, and a non-technical guy going to the technical kind of business. So how does this work, and how does MBA work?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think what I've seen typically is that when you have to do business, all you need to know about business, like I said, the technical side kind of comes along with it. Every business has a certain amount of technicalities that is involved. So even if you go to bank, you need to understand what are the financial instruments and what are the financial technicalities of it, even if that's insurance. So anything, it has to be technical. Now, looking at entire landscape today, a person, when he does an MBA, what happens is his mind starts looking things at a management point of view. It is not technical solution. It is all management solution. Now, MBA, what it does typically is that according to me, what MBA does is it does two things. One is puts your thoughts in a structured format. It's a structured format thinking, whatever the thoughts is. So you have, that is where the templates, the laws, the principles and everything come in. It's a management science. So you are putting these things in thoughts and perspective about it. So you're about to make plans about it. So that's point one. The point two about MBA as what MBA does to you is it is entirely of the things are very dynamic in an MBA school, right? You have 10 projects, 10 things to handle. Everything is a hodgepodge. There is no straight line thinking there. So with the entire mess, how do you move ahead is the entire point that you learn during those 2 years. So I think these two skill set, if you put it together, so if suppose I am an engineer and I want to move into a banking field, all I need to understand is a little bit about financial things more. But my major driver is to get more business there, whatever that is. Now, if I'm doing marketing and sales, if it's operations, I need to understand how the channels of banking industry works, or if it's operations of say Tata Motors. How does in operations there is something called as Six Sigma. Now, Six Sigma belts are there, multiple certifications are there. Now that you do as an MBA, so you are not working on the shop floor making the machine, but you're ensuring the productivity of that machinery is maximum, right? So that is what MBA does to you, which kind of gives you a perspective, a structured thought. And to come back to your question, I will just give two examples about it, right? So if you look at it, I think the new chairman of Yes Bank or something, he's a non-engineer, and I mean he's an engineer, and he's now become a banking head. And if you look at say automobile industry, Mahindra and Mahindra CEO, whose name is Vinod Saye, he was ex Tata Motors. He's a BCom grad. So he's a BCom grad who has done MBA and now is heading an automobile company, right? So you would think an automobile company means he needs to know, he has to be a mechanical engineer, right? So his job is not to make machines, right? His job is to get right people to make the machines and get the best for the business.
Yes. Great. That's a good answer, by the way. So we have some questions. Okay, how to get those live projects is what Tanmay is asking.
Okay. So how to get the live projects? I get this pretty often. in the current times, you can look at multiple avenues. One is reach out. I mean, make your template ready for your LinkedIn. Make your how do you pitch? Just don't send random meeting or invite to people on LinkedIn and then connect. Go to their organization, where they are working, understand what is their organization typically operating at. So suppose you go to say a Tata Motors, because it's a common example today. You go to Tata Motors and you see, okay, in Tata Motors I would like to get into marketing space. Now I will go to passenger, so Tata Nexon or Tata Tiago is doing well. But I think on the internet space, they are not as much as a Mahindra is or a Maruti is. So you need to go to that person who's handling marketing and just don't say, "Hi, sir, I am so and so. I need an opportunity." No, the best way to go forward is introduce yourself and say, "Sir, I have analyzed this. My observations regarding this industry is this. These are 3 points I have observed. Would you think is there for my personal learning? I would like to connect with you to understand 2 pointers more." Once this person responds to you, is the window that is opening for you to then have a good conversation and then move and say, is there an opportunity for internship or is there an opportunity for a live project? That is one. Second is, you will have a lot of guest faculty visiting your campuses on the day, every day, on a very regular basis. Go back to their LinkedIn profile, go back to their profile, whatever they have taught on that day of session, take notes and give your perspective to it and message him back. That's it. Suppose today I discuss about positioning as a concept, and you are saying it is about a consumer behavior, how you position something in your mind. Now, if I give you this as a lecture, if someone sends me, "Sir, this was a nice lecture. I understood this point by looking at Parle-G biscuit, and this is the example I would remember." Now, you have given me a reason to believe that you were attentive in that session, and you get my confidence that, hey, this guy was attentive, which means he's serious. So it is okay to spend few more minutes with this guy. And that's when you engage more and know more about his company, and then try to say that, "Sir, do you in your company, does in any stretch of imagination, do you have any opportunity that is for someone like me? Or if you think it's a group project, I'm ready to put 4-5 people on group and we will do a group project." So that is number two. Number three is, if suppose you're not getting anything, your father, your uncle, auntie, mother, whoever it is, their circle will have someone or the other. Do not shy away from working in a smaller company if you don't have anything, right? Do not wait for big brands to come and fall on your lap, because many a times it happens that, let's say your father's friend is runs a CA firm, and you are interviewed there. Hello, did I lose you? Yeah. So my point is that, take up, start utilizing your own circle. That would be much more beneficial to, take up that.
Yeah, to
So I
add
think
on,
these are 3-4 good pointers. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ashwin, one more thing that I wanted to say, because this is in sync with how effectively you can use LinkedIn. Okay, because obviously LinkedIn is there and people have their profiles. All of this is there. One definitely is a good way. The way Ashwin told, okay, that you can reach out to a speaker after you have attended a particular session and all of that. One more thing is, when you add some people like this, okay, let's say for example, any speaker, okay, any high profile speaker, okay, senior person from a corporate spoke to you or has given a session in your college or anywhere on online platform, and even if you get that person added, okay, but then if on a regular basis, if you are posting some very nice analysis of your own thing that you bring up, okay, that's happening currently in the market, okay, and based on some good research that you have read, okay, some news article also that you have read, you just post it, okay, because on LinkedIn obviously people are serious out there, okay, they are looking to spend some time how they can develop themselves. So if someone see that the kind of things that you regularly post, okay, I mean, not necessarily it means that every day, but that even if in a week you're having 2 such posts also coming up from your side, people will look up to you for the kind of post that you put, okay, and that is also going to affect, okay, in terms of your importance, okay, your credibility when you reach out to someone for a project. Okay. So yeah, Akshay has a question,
Right.
Ashwin, for you.
So I think I've just one more question.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can go ahead, Ashwin.
I think it's a geo question. So, so it's a simple answer. Vodafone gave me the offer first, so I took that up, and I at that point in time I did not apply to geo. So yeah, that's the only answer to it.
Okay, okay, great. So, meanwhile, people, any more questions from your side? Okay, we can take it if you have those, because we have more, some 5 to 6 minutes more. Okay, all right. Okay, Akshay has got a thanks message for you.
Yeah, so I think
Uh, yeah, yeah, Ashwin.
so. I'll just say, approach MBA from like I said, 2 3 layers, and the only two things I would say while you get into the MBA stream is try sleeping less and work as much as possible, because MBA is the only place where you can really rub yourself off, and you will see the results coming in pretty well. And that's one. And the point two about MBA thing is that once you decide something, once you decide, even if you're not able to decide, start making an approach how you take decisions. Your decision making skills is something that you need to start honing in MBA. That comes from a lot of simple things. First year, a lot of people, I every batch has about 15-20% of people who are not sure which stream to take. There will be always confusion between two people, I mean two streams: operation lu, hr lu, marketing lu. So I think whatever you do, start making a mechanism for yourself, how you the option of eliminating or option of looking at one thing and going, how do you scale it up. So I think that's one important thing once you get into MBA that you need to definitely do, is what my personal recommendation is.
Great, great. Okay, I think we had a great session. A lot of things that were discussed today. Definitely, students also are saying that okay, the session was inspiring. Okay, and they got good insights from this. And from
So
the
in that
institute
case,
side.
if you I need to add just one thing. If you have to take away something from the session, uh,
Yes.
rest everything still sounds like a gyan, right? But if I were to tell you one thing which you have to do, if you have to one thing, learn Microsoft Excel as much as you can. That's it,
Yeah. That
right? So guys,
Microsoft,
yeah,
like that is there because the end of the day, being in corporate, you do a lot of stuff out there. Okay, and obviously, I mean, but I think Ashwin, the way someone uses that, okay, like a lot of people, I think 99% of Janta doesn't know the kind of insights that you can get from it. Okay, when you put the right
yeah,
data out there. Okay,
yeah.
and that is where we
So
we
I
see
think
that we do MBA after MBA, in fact.
correct. So if suppose how many other participants we have, I would tell guys, if you fall from we are sitting on 18th today, till 18 November, just spend 1 hour on Excel. And then you will see the kind of confidence that you will get during your MBA and post your MBA also. So you need to understand, there are many times when you get into companies where your boss's boss is not very good with Excel and you will score. That is point one. Point two is that
Yeah,
you are so good with numbers that you will start showing results, right? So I would say
yeah.
if a skill set, if you have to take away from me, just take up Excel, start learning.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I think one very common thing is this only, that they'll give you any data, okay, and they'll tell you that okay, this is the data that you can use to in fact, who are and they also do the same thing when it comes to data interpretation and all of that. Okay, so and I've seen that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Ashwin, my own example when I was in Deloitte. Okay, and people when I used to take interviews, that was the same thing there. Okay, that
yeah.
different people come up with such good insights. Okay, and that actually makes a
Perfect.
difference between students. Okay, between like giving the same data. Okay, using the same tool, which is Excel. Okay, or some other thing that you can say, but people who are intellectual, people who are smart, okay, they will come up with real good insights.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
right.
think
So I
that's a
think we
good
have one
message.
question who says,
That's a very good message.
yeah. So I think there's one question which is operation average package from top 20 college. what my experience says is from the top 20 college, it easily crosses about 25 lakhs per annum easily. So top 10 definitely. So if you put an average, so you can take an average of 20-ish around.
Yes.
It's a simple thing here. Like if I say if you're an IIM Bangalore.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying if you're an IIM Bangalore graduate, and I'm saying if you're an IIM Bangalore graduate and Amazon comes and takes you up for an operation management, they will easily offer you 25, 30. Yeah. So as simple as that.
Yes. Great. Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
Yes, I think we should ask that once before we go ahead. All right. Ashwin, from my side, from MBAP side, and from student side, again, thanks a lot, because we have our student joining in for a next session, which is scheduled at 9 p.m. Which is with regards to some of the CAT preparation thing that we have coming up. So I think we still have some questions coming in. It's just that we are short of time. So Tanmay, Bharat is having some more questions. One thing that we can do is probably I'll have to take a move in next couple of minutes. You can definitely continue here. That is not a problem. You can definitely continue here. Till 9 is what we can do. Because I have some back end stuff to be managed. By 9 we can surely end up that. So yes, Tanmay has a question and Bharat has a question for you.
Yeah, let me just quickly answer that. So it's 8:52. So I think I'll take 5 more minutes and we'll wrap it up. So let's look at this. What is that? So Tanmay asked, does money matter at that level? Which level, Tanmay? I don't know. Money technically matters at every level. I can tell you that. But it's each to his own. Perquisites for operation as a mechanical engineer. So a mechanical engineer, if you're a mechanical engineer doing MBA, I think you need to really focus on the core basics of the Six Sigmas, the Kaizens, and all these things. Because if you're getting into core operations, these are the things that they test you. And then apart from the operation element, you have to finalize which sector do you want to go in, because operation management in automobile is very different from an operation management in the IT. So it is two very different scope. Though Six Sigma and everything you can apply anywhere, but then once you filter your industry, you can do much more courses which is related to operation, and operation is heavily dependent on the technology as well. So you need to be a little aware about the technology. I think that's what. At a general level, easily, buddy. So Tanmay, I think he's saying at general manager, money is important. I think money becomes important till you're vice president. After that, it is not. Because the thing is, it's not about money per se, but the kind of responsibilities that comes up with you. Everyone wants to grow in life. See, let me put it this way. Money is the only tangible thing that you can see you have grown. You're grown on year. That is why it becomes important. Now, if you are someone who does not really focus on money, good for you. Really good for you. But my understanding is the first reason you're doing MBA is to try to get more money. So that's what I would say. Right, I think we are pretty much done. Any more questions? 2 more minutes and then we can wrap it up.
Bharat,
so if I'm just saying I've answered that. So I think if at all you need one more session or something, just feel free. I mean, if the students have anything, we can always connect. And if you want to take one particular line.
Yeah, this particular stream is going to be there on our channel. You guys can put up a message down there. In the comment section. We do take that very seriously. So whatever is there, we'll take action on that. If required, sometime in near future. If Ashwin has got time, we can have another session as well.
Great. I think we are pretty much done.
Yeah, we're pretty much done. So thanks a lot, Ashwin. Quite an insightful session. Insightful for me as well. That was good. And definitely
thanks a lot everyone.
Yeah, students also appreciated it. And as what I understand, okay, definitely student would want, okay, another session from your side, and we'll keep in touch. Okay, we'll surely
Yeah.
find some more time of yours, okay, and probably have one more session sometime.
Sure. Whatever. If you want to look at a sector, industry, whatever, we can always open to have a chat over that. So thank you everyone, and all the best for your preparations.
Okay, thank you, Ashwin. Thanks everyone for joining in. All the best. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.